Hi, welcome. My name is McCluskey. And on this video, I'd like to take just a minute to discuss one of the relational issues that's very important. This really comes off a question I received from a person that they were interested in my technique for creating these follower moments I describe in my videos. One thing I want to make clear is when you're doing my methods, it's very important that, especially if you're using this, because I get a sense that this is what this guy wanted to do, is incorporate into his training, where he's helping other people train dogs. Is one of the relational issues is that you have to be very aware of the relational part of this. For example, if a dog owner is applying my methodology from how their current relational alignment, my techniques are going to work extremely well, only because there's not such a contrast going on relationally. When I talk about contrast, what I'm talking about is just like parenting, there's already an established relationship that's already been built, and so therefore the dog is already objectifying that owner at a certain level. So when they're applying my method, it's not going to be so. There's not going to be so much drama involved, because again, what's happening is more of a transitional shifting. Okay, it's more smooth and fluid. It's not so challenging to the dog, because the dog thinks they're holding power, or they have power over that owner, and so the shift is going to be not as challenging. But however, when if you're using this as wanting to use this as a trainer, you have to be relationally in tune to this connection issue, because what happens is if you go and you take someone else's dog and you start to try to use my method on them, what will happen is you could be in a position to get bit very, very quickly, because it's working as this is relational, so the dog is going to be reacting from your personality. So for example, if you're going from the dog owning a certain owner, and then that contrast now is going to happen where you put the dog on the leash and you try to handle someone else's dog and apply my methodology, you could get bit very quickly, because what's happening is the dog's going to go into a high challenge state. Okay, so that's why if you're doing my method, again, if you're a dog owner and you're applying it, it's going to work out extremely well. But if you're a trainer and wanting to incorporate my methodology, I would really encourage you to check out my trainer certification course that I offer. What that does is it helps you get in tune to the relational connection model, okay, so that you'll be able to see clearly with a discerning eye as to the various interplays and how to properly incorporate my methodology in, so that it reduces the risk of anyone getting bit. And because that's the thing, because as soon as you take someone's dog, it takes about 10 seconds for that window to kind of open up, where they're getting a sense of where you kind of stand in nature, so to speak, and they could flash overreact very, very quickly and engage you at a level that you don't want. So that's why when I'm doing it, I'm working off of deciding who I'm going to coach, what dogs I can handle, because again, it's helpful for me to handle dogs so people can see it. But again, if a dog's holding a certain level of power, you have to have a good sense of that, because again, you don't want to get bitten, you don't want anyone else to get bitten, because it'll change the whole context of what you're doing. I mean, if the dog bites you, the dog may not have bitten before, but only because that dog hasn't been exposed in a meaningful way to its role being challenged, basically, it can create that very quickly. So you want to be really in tune to this relational issue. It's something that I really would again encourage you to check out my instructor's course if you want to apply this methodology, incorporate it into what you're doing now. But again, if you're a dog owner, very effective. And again, book available, called Beyond the Leash Dog Psychology Training Guide. This is my kind of bread and butter book that has all my methodology in it. It's available through Amazon Kindle, Barnes & Noble, and directly through my website. So I encourage you to check it out. But again, that's just want to mention that relational nugget, so to speak, so it'll help you understand exactly that there's more happening here. If you're approaching my methodology, understand it's mind and body, it's relational, so that when you're using my method, you have to understand or get a sense of the relational issue as well as you're doing it, because there's more kind of going on than meets the eye, so to speak. So thanks very much for watching. Hope you have a great day.